Have you ever wondered what might be the most impactful war in human history? Whether you're interested in the clash of civilizations or how conflicts shape our world, here are 20 of the most impactful wars that changed the course of human history. Number 20. Peloponnesian War. The Peloponnesian War was a brutal conflict fought between two of ancient Greece's most powerful city-states, Athens and Sparta. Lasting from 431 to 404 BCE, this war had profound consequences for the entire region. Initially, the war started due to tensions over maritime disputes and Athenian imperialism, which included controlling key trade routes in the Aegean Sea. This created friction with Sparta, who felt overshadowed by Athens' growing power. As the war progressed, it took on a broader scope, evolving into a struggle between two rival alliances, the Delian League led by Athens and the Peloponnesian League dominated by Sparta. The conflict was marked by innovative military tactics, notably the use of the long spear by the Spartans and the development of naval strategies by the Athenians. However, despite Athens' initial naval superiority, Sparta's strong land-based army proved decisive. Key battles like the Battle of Mantinea in 362 BCE demonstrated the Spartans' prowess on land. The war's outcome was a decisive victory for Sparta, but it also left both sides severely weakened. This paved the way for the rise of Macedon under King Philip II, who eventually conquered Greece, ending the Golden Age of Athens and setting the stage for the Hellenistic period. Number 19. The Punic Wars. The Punic Wars were a series of three conflicts fought between Rome and Carthage between 264 and 146 BCE. These wars were pivotal in establishing Rome's dominance in the Mediterranean, fundamentally altering the course of Western civilization. The First Punic War was primarily a struggle for control of Sicily. The conflict showcased the strengths of both sides, with Carthage utilizing its superior navy and Rome employing its innovative use of infantry tactics. The stalemate led to a negotiated peace, but it also set the stage for future conflicts. The Second Punic War was a dramatic escalation where Hannibal Barca, a brilliant Carthaginian general, famously crossed the Alps with elephants, invading Italy and defeating Roman armies. Despite this, Rome's resilience and strategic partnerships led to Hannibal's eventual defeat. The Third and final Punic War was Rome's final showdown with Carthage, resulting in the complete destruction of Carthage and the annexation of its territories by Rome. This war had profound global impacts. It not only established Rome as the supreme power in the Mediterranean, but also laid the foundation for the spread of Roman law, culture, and governance across its vast empire. The map underwent significant changes during the Punic Wars, particularly with Rome's victories. Rome's gradual expansion into the Western Mediterranean, including North Africa and parts of Spain, was a direct consequence of its triumphs over Carthage. Number 18. Alexander the Great's conquests. Alexander the Great's conquests were a series of military campaigns waged by the king of the Kingdom of Macedon between 336 and 323 BCE. Alexander's ambitions extended beyond his father's realm. He sought to conquer the vast Persian Empire. Alexander's well-trained Macedonian army, combined with his innovative strategies and his personal charisma, proved irresistible to the diverse peoples he encountered. His campaigns took him through Anatolia, Egypt, and into India. While his empire was vast, it was short-lived. Following his untimely death in Babylon, his empire was divided among his generals, an event known as the Wars of the Diadochi. Nevertheless, the impact of Alexander's conquests was monumental. Firstly, it facilitated the spread of Greek culture, language, and ideas, a process known as Hellenization, across 3 continents. Secondly, his conquests connected the Middle East and Europe in unprecedented ways. Thirdly, his campaigns introduced the Eastern world to philosophical ideas from Greece, stimulating intellectual discourse. Finally, they laid the groundwork for the rise of Hellenistic kingdoms, like the Ptolemaic kingdom in Egypt and the Seleucids in Mesopotamia, shaping the political landscape of the ancient world. Alexander's conquests dramatically altered the map of the ancient world. Though short-lived, His empire temporarily unified large parts of the Middle East and Persia under Macedonian rule, stretching as far east as northwest India. Number 17. Roman Civil Wars. The Roman Civil Wars encompass a series of conflicts from 49 to 31 BCE that fundamentally reshaped the Roman Republic, transforming it into the Roman Empire. Key figures like Julius Caesar and Octavian, later known as Augustus, fought for supremacy, each aiming to establish dominance within the fractured republic. The civil wars emerged from a context of growing inequality, political instability, and territorial ambitions. Julius Caesar's military successes in Gaul, coupled with his Populares political faction, alarmed the Roman Senate, leading to his assassination. Caesar's adopted son, Octavian, then defeated Caesar's assassins and other rivals in a series of civil wars, emerging as the sole ruler of Rome. During this time, Mark Antony and Cleopatra, rulers of Egypt, formed an alliance that threatened Octavian's authority. After defeating them at the Battle of Actium, Octavian established the first Roman emperor, Augustus, marking the end of the Roman Republic and the beginning of the imperial era. The civil wars significantly impacted the map of the Roman world. The conflicts resulted in the consolidation of territories under imperial rule, effectively putting an end to the Roman Republic's system of governance. Number 16. Muslim conquests. The Muslim conquests refer to the rapid expansion of Islamic rule starting in the 7th century CE from the Arabian Peninsula to encompass vast territories across 3 continents, Asia, Africa, and Europe. The expansion began shortly after the death of the Prophet Muhammad, when Arab tribes united under the banner of Islam and began conquering neighboring regions. By the year 750 CE, the Muslim world stretched from the Iberian Peninsula in Europe to the Central Asian steppe. This expansion was driven by various factors, including the egalitarian message of Islam, the lack of internal divisions among early Muslims, and the military prowess of the Arab armies. During this period, Muslims made significant contributions to science, mathematics, philosophy, and literature. They preserved Greek and Roman texts, translated scientific works into Arabic, and developed sophisticated systems of logic and astronomy. Trade flourished along the Silk Roads and other networks connecting the Muslim world to Asia and Europe. Cities like Baghdad, Damascus, and Cairo became centers of commerce and cultural exchange. Number 15. The Crusades. The Crusades were a series of religious wars sanctioned by the Latin Church in the medieval period. The primary objective of the Crusades was to reclaim the Holy Land, specifically Jerusalem and the surrounding areas, from Muslim rule. The First Crusade, launched in 1095, resulted in the establishment of 4 Crusader states in the Levant. Over the next 2 centuries, several more crusades were launched, though they generally failed to achieve their military objectives. Despite their military setbacks, the Crusades had significant historical impacts. They contributed to the strengthening of European feudalism by providing new opportunities for knights and nobles to acquire land and power. Moreover, the Crusades fostered increased trade between Europe and the Middle East, exposing Europeans to new goods and ideas. They also deepened the divide between Christians and Muslims, leaving a lasting legacy of religious intolerance. Number 14. Mongol conquests. The Mongol conquests were a series of military campaigns led by Genghis Khan and his successors that resulted in the largest contiguous land-based empire in history. Beginning in the 13th century, the Mongols, a nomadic Central Asian people, united under Genghis Khan's leadership and embarked on a campaign of conquest. Their empire, known as the Mongol Empire, stretched from the Pacific Ocean in the east to Eastern Europe in the west. Under Genghis Khan and his successors, Ogedei, Guyuk, and Monkey, the Mongols employed innovative military tactics, including the use of mounted archers and psychological warfare. They were known for their brutality, often massacring those who resisted their rule. Despite their ruthlessness, the Mongols also facilitated trade along the Silk Road and other Eurasian trade routes, promoting cultural exchange between different civilizations. Number 13. 100 Years' War. The 100 Years. War was a protracted conflict between England and France from 1337 to 1453. Despite its length, the war was not continuous, and it involved multiple phases and battles. The war was primarily fought over territorial claims in France, particularly over the English possession of Aquitaine and other regions in northern France. The conflict saw significant shifts in power and numerous famous battles, including the Battle of Crécy, the Battle of Poitiers, and the Battle of Agincourt. The 100 Years' War had a profound impact on both England and France. For France, it was a pivotal moment in forging a sense of national identity. The war effort inspired French unity and resistance against the English invaders. It also led to important technological advancements, such as the development of improved artillery and the use of firearms. For England, the war's outcome was ultimately a defeat. By the end of the conflict, England had lost nearly all of its continental possessions except for the town of Calais. Number 12. Ottoman conquests. The Ottoman conquests refer to the military campaigns of the Ottoman Empire between 1299 and 1683 that resulted in the expansion of their territory across 3 continents, Asia, Africa, and Europe. The Ottomans were a Turkish-speaking people who originated in the northwestern Anatolian region. By the mid-15th century, the Ottomans controlled the Byzantine capital of Constantinople, marking the end of the Byzantine Empire and the beginning of the Ottoman era in the eastern Mediterranean. This expansion had significant global impacts. The Ottomans controlled critical trade routes, including those connecting Europe and Asia. Their dominance of the seas facilitated the spread of goods such as spices, textiles, and precious metals. This control also gave them leverage over European powers seeking access to the lucrative trade routes of the East. The Ottomans implemented policies that often aimed to assimilate conquered populations into their empire, encouraging the conversion of non-Muslims to Islam and integrating them into Ottoman society. Number 11. 30 Years' War. The 30 Years. War was a complex and devastating conflict, fought primarily in Central Europe from 1618 to 1648. The war involved a tangled web of participants and shifting alliances. At its core, it was initially a religious conflict between Catholic and Protestant factions within the Holy Roman Empire, but it evolved into a broader struggle for power involving various European states. The war was marked by intense fighting, including the Battle of White Mountain and the Battle of Roccasecca. It had profound consequences for Europe. The Peace of Westphalia in 1648, which concluded the war, established the modern state system, emphasizing the sovereignty of individual states. This peace treaty reshaped Central European borders and significantly weakened the Holy Roman Empire, setting the stage for its eventual decline. Number 10. 7 Years' War. The 7 Years' War was a global conflict fought between 1756 and 1763. It,